Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Brooke will be in for a shock when she witnesses Ridge and Taylor having an intimate moment. The situation takes place during a chakra therapy session, a spiritual therapy that Ridge and Taylor have decided to participate in to strengthen their relationship. Although the initial purpose is just to help them find their inner balance, the way the session goes makes things more complicated, especially when Brooke witnesses the two holding hands affectionately. In that moment, Brooke is completely stunned. She cannot believe her eyes when she sees the man she loves sitting intimately with Taylor, who has always been a threat to their relationship. This makes Brooke feel betrayed and deeply hurt, but instead of rushing in and breaking up the session, she decides to leave with restraint. This is not Brooke's usual reaction, but perhaps she realized that confronting Ridge and Taylor right now could make things worse. After leaving therapy, Brooke turned to Eric in the hope that he could help her stop the progression of Ridge and Taylor's relationship. Eric was a big influence in Ridge's life, and Brooke believed that only he could help her save her love. However, what happened next was completely unexpected for Brooke. When she confided in Eric not only to seek advice but also to hope that he would stand by her, Brooke received an unexpected and painful answer. Eric, who had always acted as a mediator in the Forrester family's complicated relationships, this time took a stance in favor of Ridge and Taylor. He believed that the connection between Ridge and Taylor, especially through the chakra therapy session, was not a negative thing. On the contrary, Eric believes that this is Ridge's chance to find the peace and happiness he deserves. So instead of helping Brooke stop this relationship, Eric advises her to let go and let Ridge continue with Taylor. He emphasizes that holding on to a man who is no longer completely devoted to her will only make things more painful for both sides. This advice is like a slap in the face to Brooke. She cannot accept that the person she trusted the most is on the side of her opponent. In anger, Brooke feels betrayed by both Eric and Ridge. She angrily curses Eric and declares that she will never let Taylor take her man. Brooke's emotions rise, and her anger grows. Determined not to let Ridge and Taylor's relationship go further, Brooke promises to fight to the end to keep her love. Brooke is not someone who gives up easily, especially when it comes to love. Brooke has been through a lot in her life, and this time she feels like she has to fight harder than ever to keep Ridge by her side. Her anger is not only directed at Taylor, but now also at Eric, who she feels has betrayed her friendship and trust. Brooke believes Taylor is trying to take Ridge away in a subtle way, and she will not let that happen. The question now is whether Brooke's growing anger and hatred will cause her to explode. Will she be able to control her emotions and make wise decisions, or will she engage in a relentless war with Taylor? This complicated relationship threatens to put Brooke in even more stressful situations, as she confronts not only Taylor, but the entire Forrester family. Brooke's feud with Taylor could explode at any moment, and this could have unpredictable consequences for all involved. With love, betrayal, and hidden plots gradually revealed, The Bold and the Beautiful promises to bring thrilling and unpredictable plots. This meeting between Brooke and Taylor is not just a normal conversation like the previous times. Brooke comes to Taylor with the sole purpose of criticizing and threatening her to stay away from Ridge. Brooke's anger explodes into harsh words, as she continuously accuses Taylor of plotting to steal Ridge from her. With an arrogant and fierce attitude, Brooke does not hesitate to frankly warn Taylor that she will do everything in her power to keep Ridge, even if it means Taylor will pay a heavy price. It is worth mentioning that throughout this tense conversation, Taylor remained silent. She did not respond to Brooke's criticism, not because she was weak or afraid, but because Taylor always tried to keep things from going too far. However, Taylor's silence made Brooke even more angry. Instead of feeling satisfied after venting all her anger, Brooke felt that Taylor was a bigger threat than ever. That's why Brooke made a cruel and unforgivable decision in a moment of losing control. Brooke secretly cut the brake lines of Taylor's car. She hoped that in this way, Taylor would have an accident and would no longer be a danger to her life with Ridge. What's even more terrifying is that Brooke left the scene as if nothing had happened, while Taylor was completely unaware of the dark plot that awaited her. Not long after, as Brooke planned, Taylor got into the car and started driving without knowing that the brakes had been cut. While she was driving on a familiar road, the car suddenly lost control. Taylor tried to control the car, but to no avail. As a result, the car sped away at an unstoppable speed and caused a serious accident. Taylor was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but due to the severity of her injuries, she could not survive despite the doctor's best efforts to save her. Taylor's death was a huge shock, not only to her family but also to the entire town. Taylor's daughter Steffi, in particular, was devastated when she received the news that her mother had passed away in a terrible accident. She could not believe that her beloved mother had passed away so suddenly and painfully. Meanwhile, the police were investigating the accident. What no one knew was that the real cause behind the accident was not due to technical failure or Taylor's carelessness, but Brooke's brutal murder. All the evidence was gradually being collected, and the danger of the truth being exposed was very close. As for Brooke, after learning that Taylor could not survive, she began to feel remorse for her actions. Although Brooke initially thought she could escape all suspicion, the feeling of guilt began to haunt her. Taylor's death is not only the result of a cruel revenge plan, but also a great pain in Brooke's heart when she realizes that she has gone too far. Brooke faces a difficult choice. Will she have the courage to confess her sins to the law and face the consequences that she must bear, or will she continue to hide this secret, living in fear that the truth will be exposed? The question now is, will Brooke have the courage to face her actions, or will she continue to live in torment and regret for the rest of her life? This incident will certainly change the lives of all involved. The feud between Brooke and Taylor has reached its climax, and Taylor's death will likely have serious consequences, not only for her family, but for the entire town. How will Ridge react when he learns that the woman he once loved has become the victim of a murder plot? And will Steffi find out the truth about her mother's death to get justice?